What's up? Seth Williams here with nhcherbs.com to talk about your health and basically provide some value in entertainment here, since I'm having a hard time finding worthy things to learn. I figured I could at least offer that which I know of so that we could have something to understand about our health, because today you have to be your own doctor. I don't know if you've noticed, but our medical profession has not done the best job of, well, maintaining integrity, to say the least. They hadn't cured a single degenerative disease in 60 years. Now, if you get cut up, banged up, bruised up, or burned up, they're pretty decent. But honestly, if I didn't do my job for 60 years, somebody would be put in place to replace me. But they become so capable at corruption and capable of defending their corruption that even if I provide the cure to a disease, they will, I can't say it. Like, if I say it, then I break one of their laws. It sends me to jail. So here's what we do: is we provide your body with the raw materials necessary to rebuild from certain conditions. And right now, we're going to talk about the condition of heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the world every year, except for doctors. And I'll explain that later. But if you're going to protect yourself against something, heart disease is generally going to be the #1 thing you want to protect against, because it's probably most likely going to be the #1 degenerative disease that's going to take you out. So with that said, there have been some amazing doctors, medical people who have broke the mold and found out some really unique things. And there was specifically one called, his name was Dr. Matthias Rath. He wrote the book, Why Animals Don't Get Heart Attacks, But People Do. And of course, animals get heart attacks. But what we've been able to do is we have been able to effectively stop heart disease in every farm animal out there. Now, he said, if we can do that with farm animals, why in the world can't we do that with us? So he said, well, I got to looking into it, and I said, well, these turkeys over here, they were all having aneurysms at one time, and we gave them a nickel's worth of copper in their food, and, well, lo and behold, next season of turkeys, no aneurysms. They literally lost 50% of the turkey population one year. The next year, no aneurysms, nickel's worth of copper. And it's been like that with every single degenerative disease in animals. So what he did is he said, okay, so what we're going to do is we'll take all the nutrients that we give the animals and start giving it to humans and see what happens. Over 11 years, right, he had 100% remission in all forms of heart disease, stroke, and everything associated with the cardiovascular system. Well, you would think that would be front page news. #1 killer, boom, dude's got it, right? No, not so much, no. He started giving lectures because he was a cardiologist in Canada, and he's like, boom, I got the answer right here. So he starts giving lectures at the pharmaceutical halls, because that's where all the doctors meet. And about his third lecture, he says he went there he gave his lecture, and afterwards someone said, hey, you can't do that. He said, well, yes, I can. He said, I have been able to reverse heart disease in all these, 100 people over an 11-year period. And he said, no. I'm sure you can do that, but you didn't include a drug in any of your studies. And he went, and? I said, well, you can't do that. These are the pharmaceutical halls. You must include a drug in your studies. And I've done 11 years of studies. I can't just include something that's not there. He said, I did this with these natural substances. I said, then you'll never speak in another pharmaceutical hall again. After that, he was never invited back. He was blacklisted from ever speaking in a pharmaceutical hall again. Now, that's how they suppress information from you. just like that. So what we've done is taken Dr. Matthias Rath's studies and a few other doctors, and we have included them and created a product that we call Heart. I mean, it's for the cardiovascular system. This has every nutrient necessary to give your body the raw material it needs to rebuild your cardiovascular system at a cellular level in the same manner and the same way that Dr. Matthias Rath did with all of his patients over an 11-year period. Now, the great thing is we found different ways of absorption, like adding MSM plus C to it, which will increase the absorption rate, which will increase the effectiveness of all these nutrients. So in doing this, we decided to come out with the product Heart, and what we've seen since then has been awesome. Now, here's where I must throw in the disclaimer. None of these products have been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, prevent, cure, or cause any disease. We simply provide your body with the raw material necessary to rebuild at a cellular level, and we believe that your body likes to heal and be healthy as long as it has those raw materials. So, given that statement, we understand that God created us in his image, and he created this structure which likes to be healthy, it likes to feel good, and it likes to replicate. Over time, when we lack a basic raw material, a vitamin, mineral, amino acid, fatty acid, simple sugar, protein, water, or air, when you become deficient, or I become deficient of any of these, then what will happen is over a period of time, I will degenerate, which means I will reduce inability to reproduce properly due to a lack of material. Just like if you had a structure like a house and it was to rebuild itself every 7 years, it would rebuild every hard and complete structure of itself. Every 11 months, every soft part of it, because that's what the body does. If you left out, let's say, the nails and screws like MSM, then, well, it would be patchwork together as well as it could without getting those materials. But it would degenerate. It would not be as good as the first time. Now, if you provide all new material during this rebuilding process, then it gets better. And that's what we intend to do, is we intend to give our bodies the raw material necessary to get better through all the years of our life so that we at least live at our prime until it's time to go meet our Father, which I think is a worthy goal. So the slogan that we have is, NHC herbs, or nutritional healthcare, making America healthy one person at a time. And to do this, if you have cardiovascular disease that runs in your family, if you have a worry about having heart attacks or strokes or something like that, the least that can be done is provide the raw material necessary to rebuild. That's in a product called Heart. And if you'll take that with MSM plus C, then it enhances its ability to do its job. Now, for people who have, let's say, angina, or they have hardening of the arteries, or we have, let's say, a blockage, or we have stroke, or there is a thickening of the blood even, or any type of heart or cardiovascular disorder, this is actually made to give your body what it needs to rebalance and take a disorder, which is things are out of order, and give your body what it needs to put things back in order, to organize your structure back to its original form, the way it's supposed to be. It's really that basic. So if you're interested in, and let's say you have high cholesterol, or you have any type of disorder that deals with the cardiovascular system, I would recommend you grab you some Heart and some MSM plus C. MSM plus C being the foundational structure for absorption of all your other nutrients. And in doing this, what you'll start to notice is that, within 7 to 10 days, you might go through a little detox with the MSM. And what that means is you may not feel too good, but you'll never have a fever and you'll never lose your appetite. After that, the joints get lubricated so that you feel better and you have more mobility, and then the cardiovascular system will get better, so you'll have more stamina. You'll be able to think more clearly. Detoxification happens. So once you go through that, then all those toxins are removed. And honestly, it's one of those things that you don't wake up one day and say, wow, my cardiovascular system feels good. But over a long period of time, you notice what I've watched my dad, for instance. I've watched many of his friends pass with cardiovascular disease and other things, and he's still healthy. I've watched them not be able to be mobile because of like arthritis, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, all these things, and he's still mobile. He's still out doing what he likes to do. So the goal is to become so nutritionally in order, not a disorder, but back in order, that we last as long as possible in as good of health until hopefully, the Lord himself has to come down and get us. That would be the ultimate goal. So check out nhcherbs.com and look at the product Heart, which I'll try to post it right here. And if you have any type of concern about heart disease, it would be a good idea to just do that. Now, let's say you're absolutely completely healthy and you don't need any of that, then get you some MSM, get you some fruit and veggie, and then circulate through these products one after another, the NHC brand, simply because every one of them is going to provide order to what could be a disorder developing, and we're going to stop, eliminate, and rebuild from that disorder. Now, I must put in the disclaimer here that none of these products have been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, prevent, cure, or cause any disease. These products are made to give your body the raw material it needs to do what God intended it to do, and that is heal. Now, if there's any questions about if there is a God, that's a different video. But God made your body to heal. You don't have to like it. That's how it happened. And if you don't believe that, if you believe that this fell together when nothing exploded and created everything, that's okay. You can still take these products and they're still going to put everything back in order. It just means that, well, you may not be completely thinking things through. When one single cell of my body is more complex than a space shuttle, and there's billions of them all working in unison together, all doing their part in order every minute of every day to keep me alive, and someone tells me that fell together, I think that's quite laughable. Nothing good in my life was ever falling in place. The air conditioner in this building did not fall in here and keep me cool. The clock on the wall didn't fall together and start making perfect time. And those are nowhere near as complex as me. And you think that fell together. I'll tell you what. If you think that nothing exploded and created everything, I might be able to agree with you. But that's a pretty awesome nothing. I mean, that nothing right there, maybe we could call that God. And when you die, if you believe nothing happens, maybe you go back to nothing, which means you would go back to God. Get it? Do you see? Yeah. All right. So anyway, go by nhcherbs.com and get you some Heart and some MSM. Look, it all comes with a 120-day money-back guarantee. If you take it for 120 days and you don't get the results you're looking for, we'll give you your money back. If your doctor's reports aren't better after 120 days, we'll give you your money back. You have nothing to lose. We're here to serve you. If we don't do it well, we'll lose our money. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Jesus loves you.